So let me tell you what creativity really is, okay? Entropy. In this context, I define entropy as the intrinsic nature of reality, where there are infinite patterns, infinite possibilities which life can go if left unchecked. But because humans are survival creatures, stemming from safety, comfort, pleasure, to have things serve the self, people form barriers that can consistently filter out the dangers of life. For those that don't need to depend on those barriers, and they can exist anywhere in this entropy, naturally, because they don't see the need, they will leave those barriers, transcend them, and indulge in the broad reality. And then they can indulge in the aspects of reality that surpasses everyone's barriers. And that's how they're seen as creative. The moment you leave the barrier, where you land can be anywhere, because there's infinite routes. But out of all those routes, you will be confined by desire. Desire will guide the narrowity you walk within this massive reality. And then that's how you find your niche, that's how you find your thing, and that's how you make impact in society. But because people are afraid of deviating from the flock, deviating from the script of how things should be, because of the backlash that would follow, and also because they've never had to do it before, so doing it feels dangerous. It feels as if there's not something to guide their path, if there's not a predestined path to walk, then where will I go? Will I be falling off a bridge? They just don't know. So they hang tighter and tighter onto these barriers that block out entropy. Think in a plan real quick. Think of how things ought to go from start to finish. Now, this is presuming a static reality, where reality is frozen, right? But guess what? Reality is dynamic, and you don't know the future. So if you predestine a start to finish format of how things should go, then guess what? Reality will constantly move around that. And you're not going to be able to see those tiny differences because you are constantly trying to pave reality back into the narrowity of how it should go, right? So for these people, they are missing out on all the opportunities they have right now. They don't even know it, but they're subconsciously confining it back to their ideal. And now for those that are free from ideals, that kind of just flow with reality however it goes, because they're not so afraid of depending on the self, because they're fine with adjusting with however things go, all of those opportunities in the now that the people thinking in a plan were blinding themselves from, when they take those, then it will propel them way past everyone thinking in a plan. So while those people are still trying to think within their plan, those people are taking advantage of what they missed and propelling further and further and further and further. The absence of fear. Fear says no. Fear says, I must use something to help me. Fear says, I can't do it on my own because things ought to go wrong, right? So then when you think in a plan, this narrowity, it has walls. When dynamic reality adjusts in a specific way that deviates from your narrowity, you will pull it back over and over and over, forming this narrowity that is so far out from how broad and infinite reality was. And then for those that could just flow with reality as it went, they just transcend wherever you were at. And then they're seen as creative, not because they made something new, but because they freed what everyone else caged. Creativity is not the making of a new, but the freeing of what was once caged. Because the world is of infinite patterns, and humans are survival creatures, many of these patterns are caged. Caged because they don't know where it will lead them. People like certainty before acceptance, so if not certainty, then you just block out. For those that can flow with reality as is, then those caged aspects of reality that everybody subconsciously blocked out from interacting with, they can see them clearly. And then when they bring it over to society, the people in society are like, whoa, how creative. But the thing that they plucked out from reality was like, thank God you freed me. All these people calling you creative, they rebuked me without even knowing. Fear. Drop fear. The moment you enter what you were afraid of and you come out fine, your subconscious mind will be like, oh, So I was never in danger, and then it will continue and continue and continue, and it will chase novelty because that's what a human mind naturally does when it's not afraid. And from that continuous chasing of novelty, you will prosper. While everyone else is stuck in their plan. Oh, how do I do it? Oh, how do I operate? That start to finish format is blinding them from everything that is here right now. Creativity. Flow with entropy, and you will prosper. My third video, guys. Thank you for watching. My next video will be about the gap from idea to execution, and how in this gap lies a lot of power. No one really resonates in this gap. They sort of just jump to execution, so they can't really adjust what was orchestrating their actions, so they kind of live in a predestined format. Those that live in this gap, usually people with a higher natural awareness since children, right? They kind of narrate society as if they're reading it as a book, right? Those that live in that gap from idea to execution can constantly adjust to whatever is most suitable, and that's how they succeed way above their peers. And I will expand more on that, so you can maybe, implement that in your life. So until next time, 5 out.